Fez here from Crypto Setups. Today I'm going to cover a protocol I've covered before, which is Nexus Protocol. Now, they have released a big update which has enabled a few more features and changed a couple of the mechanics and what things mean. So I thought I'll make this tutorial and explain that and show you one of the cool new features they've launched out where you can actually use the Nexus Protocol to bridge Ethereum across to Terra, and it then automatically puts it in the vault, which is quite cool. I looked through the process yesterday and thought it had simplified everything for the end user. So it's a great way to move ETH across to Terra if you want to take part in all the yield farming opportunities that is presently available. So what is the Nexus Protocol? Well, it allows you to use your assets like Luna, Ethereum, ETH, Avalanche, and essentially borrow against those assets. It then takes the UST, puts it into Anchor, and it automatically manages that loan for you, so you don't have to worry about market volatility. At the same time, it's generating yield. So basically it's taking these yield-bearing assets and using Anchor to generate the maximum yield possible in an automated way. That is a very simple overarching explanation of it. So just quickly taking a look now at what the changes are, you can see it's got a revamped dashboard where you can see a bit of its own treasury, that how much TVL the protocol has, the tokenomics, the price, etc. Then you notice up here you got a Terra and ETH. This never used to exist. So this is the component I mentioned earlier where it is now designed a bit of a process where you can move ETH from Ethereum or back to Ethereum just by clicking on the ETH tab and then following the processes. But I'll come back to that. Coming back to Terra, if you go on Vault, now this is what I was just telling you about moments ago. You can see that if you have these assets, you can deposit them into these vaults, and this is the kind of APR you can expect. Now I know, but the APRs are 50, 100. Remember, these are native assets. So while there's risks associated, smart contracts and things like that, the great thing about that is it's taking your native asset and without selling it or doing anything like that, it is trying to generate the maximum yield possible using another protocol. So keeping that in mind, the other next part is the farm section. This hasn't changed. So again, I'll put you back to my last video. It's where you can add liquidity to these pairs. There's some great APR. These APRs around the 100% have lasted since the start launch of the protocol, and you get the Astro token in there with it. So if you hover over, there's a decent amount of Astro being paid out as well, if that's what you were interested in. But today's video is going to focus on using, I want to quickly run through the vaults. I'm going to deposit some bLuna into the vaults and show you the new terminology, the new Luna that has appeared in Nexus, which is a cnLuna, I believe, how it's different from nLuna, bLuna, and there's so many Lunas now, but I'll give you really quick context on how that works. And then we're going to move some ETH from Ethereum across to Terra and use one of the strategies so you see how simple it is to follow the process. Great. So first things first, let's connect up the wallet. And here we go. So what I want to do first is I have some Luna in this wallet and I'm going to stake, I'm going to deposit the Luna in the vault. Okay, so when I go to Vault over here, you can see that bLuna. So I'm going to click on this one. And the first thing you'll see is I don't have any bLuna. So what you got to do if you don't have bLuna, the first thing you have to do is get bLuna. So there's two ways you can do it. You can swap your Luna on Astroport for bLuna. Usually you should end up with a bit more bLuna depending on what the markets are doing. So let's check it out. So here we are. And what I'll do is I have a bit of Luna and I'll move 3 Luna to bLuna. Now, it's not as great as you used to get, but still, if I were to use Anchor and bond this Luna, I would only end up, if I did 3, I would get 3, but thanks to the swap I'm getting a little bit more than 3, so why cheat myself? Cool. Okay, so now let's come back here on Nexus and go to Vault and click on bLuna, and straight away now you can see I have my 3 bLuna that I can deposit. So what's different? Now, in the past, you could deposit it and you'd get nLuna, which implied that that Luna was being put to work and being borrowed against, and it was automatically managing that loan for you. So in this case, the difference here is you have this new button here saying auto compound. So if I click on it, what this does is, it doesn't show it to me here. It will, so I'll put this through now. See, it will give you cnLuna. So basically, in the past, when you got the nLuna, your rewards would get paid out in PSI tokens. So it would take everything you're earning and give it to you in the native token. Now, you can still do that, where instead of auto compound, you leave it and you deposit your bLuna and it will pay out the rewards in PSI token. Or you can auto compound and it will give you, instead of nLuna, it will give you something called cnLuna. So, and that basically your rewards that you're gaining, it's purchasing more Luna for you in the background. The cnLuna stays the same. So let's work on the auto compounding. I'll hit max and we'll hit confirm. Now, for the purpose of the rest of the video, I'm going to skip through the password and verification, and you're just going to jump to the moment where the transaction's approved. Okay, great. So you can see I don't have any more bLuna. I have deposited. So let's click on the vault, and you can see that I put in 3 Luna basically, and now I have, you can see my deposit is 3 cnLuna. So what does this mean? Okay, so I wanted to quickly break down Luna and its different variants strictly when we're talking the Nexus protocol, and I felt this may help visualize it, what exactly is happening. So we've got Luna. You know, you can turn Luna into bLuna 2 ways, either going to Anchor and staking it to a validator via Anchor, or you can go to Astroport or Terra swap and swap Luna to bLuna as I showed you. Then you take that bLuna and you can do a couple of things. When you're holding bLuna, you can just hold it, and every day if you want, you can go to Anchor and claim UST instead. So instead of your Luna staking rewards, it pays out those staking rewards, the Luna staking rewards, in UST, because it is staked Luna. Now, the next part is, or you could go to Anchor and borrow, put the bLuna up and borrow now 85-90% of its value. So that's what you can do with bLuna. Now, Nexus has come along. They've built a protocol around vaults where it automates this strategy of taking your Luna and putting it into the vault and borrowing. So you earn Anchor rewards and then putting that money into Anchor to earn that 20% interest, and then paying you the rewards. So what happens is you then go take your bLuna, instead of manually doing it this way or just leaving it as staking rewards, you go, you know what, I'm going to use one of these vaults. I'm going to add it in. Now, the new update gives you another option. So originally you would add it into the vault, it would turn it into nLuna, and basically in nLuna it's automatically put it into Anchor and it's borrowed and deposited, everything I just talked about before. The difference is when it's an nLuna, it's paying out those rewards in the PSI token. That's why when you come back to the vaults, you'll see a stash of PSI, and then you can claim it and choose to hold it, sell it for UST or sell it for Luna, depending on what your goal is. Okay. The recent update now has added this variant, which is cnLuna. Now, what this does is, if you have 100 Luna, you put it into the vault, it'll give you 100 cnLuna. This is to you, what you put in. Now, every day, if the vault is earning you 8% APR, every day that 100 cnLuna will not change. It will still appear as 100 cnLuna. However, it's growing in value by 8%. So essentially, a year later, when you go to redeem your cnLuna, when you click to redeem, you'll still have 100, but instead of getting back 100 Luna when you go to redeem a bLuna, it will be the entire year's interest that you've earned, because it's automatically, what it's doing is it's automatically selling the PSI and compounding the Luna for you. So I hope that has helped Visualize may help explain how this works. And this is a very simplistic. Yes, the vaults have fees. Yes, there's small percentages taken out as part of this to pay for using the platform. Goes to PSI stakers, goes to all of that. You can find that in the Discords, but a high level, this is a real basic view of how this works and how all these lunas fall into the equation. So I hope that helps. Now let's jump back. Okay, great. So you have this bLuna now in the vault working for you. So that's done. The next, now this is the same for all the other assets. Okay, these the two other assets. You can follow this process, especially if you have ETH on bETH on Luna. That means you can just come in and use the vault. So what the protocol has then done is gone, okay, well, what if you don't have bETH? For the current process, you have to use a few different bridges and move it across. What if we can streamline that? And that is exactly what they've done. So if you click on the ETH button up here, you can see that it allows you, it basically, see, it says this process deposit ETH into the vault. So you can get it straight into the vault, and it says this process involves taking ETH to ETH2 and then minting bETH with received sETH from staking ETH. So my old video actually covered this in two separate videos, but what they've done is kind of built this a stream of screens that just takes you through the entire process, and that's what we're going to do today. So you can see when you are on here, it's got connect to MetaMask. So let's connect to MetaMask. Great. Now we're going to work through this process. Now I'm only going to move 0.5 ETH just for the sake of this tutorial. It'll probably cost me a decent amount of fees, but that's okay. The point is just to show the process. See, so step one is, this is now my MetaMask wallet. If I did jump over that, obviously I had the wallet prepped and a bit of ETH in here. Now it will move 0.5 ETH and it will give me 0.05 cnETH. Notice how it's got cnETH. This is again what I just explained with the cnLuna. This is the auto compounding ETH version. So when it comes here, when it's done, when we go through all these steps, it will be in the vault, borrowing money, depositing into Anchor, taking that yield, and then acquiring more ETH and just stacking it underneath. So when you redeem cnETH back to normal ETH, it'll give you all the extra ETH you've acquired on top through the yield. So let's run through this. You can see I've got my wallet, submit. So, and you can see how it's listed the steps. So let's just make this a bit bigger. And great. So the first step is, if you were doing this the old way, you would go to Lido and you would then stake to ETH, get another version of the ETH, and then you would move that across to Terra. So the first step it's doing is doing the staking process for you, but you don't have to leave the app. You can literally do it via Nexus. So let's hit stake. Loads up your MetaMask. And what's the gas? It's not too bad, the gas fee. So yeah, that's okay. That's good. Confirm. Great, that is done. Now the next step, so we need to give permission, you know, as you do with Ethereum, you always have to unlock. So let's hit unlock. As you can see, it's doing it through the interface, which is great. Now this transaction fee is a little bit more steeper, but that's okay. Let's just do it. Excellent. Now just FYI, I am skipping, the transactions can take 15, 20, 30 seconds. I'm skipping those portions of wait time just so that the video isn't too tedious to watch. Okay, so you have done the unlock process. Now we want to mint the WEB and send it to Terra. So it's basically bridging the ETH via wormhole. Okay, so you can see it's already got it allocated and it'll come here. It's literally click. And I am glad this happened, because you can see I'm clicking and it's not working. So don't panic. I panicked the first time while I was trialing this, but then I gave it a bit of thought. I went into Discord and got some help. So if ever this happens, it may need a refresh, but you're halfway through the process, you're thinking, don't worry, you still have all of this in your wallet, so the application actually picks it up. So let me show you what I mean. You can see it's not working. It should load something up, but it's not happening. So I'm going to close this and refresh. So after you've refreshed, you're presented with the same screen at the start. You hit continue. And notice how it's not showing you step 1. It's all the way down to 3. So it's already detected that you have your ST ETH, because the last step, if you would have noticed, is you moved ETH to staked ETH, and you have it in your wallet, as you can see over here. So if the process does stall, don't panic, refresh. Just one little call out when you do the refresh is ensure that you have the ETH, because if you don't have ETH in the wallet, I've noticed it doesn't let you get back and hit the continue button. So just make sure you have. If it stalls and you face this problem, this is the reason why. But the second that you have enough ETH in your wallet, even though it's moved it to staked ETH, as long as you have some amount of ETH, it'll let you hit the continue button, and then you can see we've headed straight back to step 3, where it's not taking your ETH from your wallet. It's found the ETH you've already staked, and now you can move it across. So let's hit mint and send. And this time MetaMask has loaded up. So let's take a look at this. Yep. It is expensive, as you can see. Depending on what's going on with the gas. So finally, now it will take 20 confirmations. So what I'll do is come back as soon as these have come through 20, and we'll work through the final steps. And there you go. So you can see it's done. The next step is, well, let's see. It's saying that I need to copy this transaction. To complete the deposit process, users must claim their web ETH on Terra. Please follow the steps below. So click the button. This is the first time you're now going out of the website. You open portal. You ensure the correct token is picked. It's token. Change the source chain to Ethereum, insert the transaction, hit recover. Cool. So let's do it. Let's hit open. Come back here. I will copy. It's already on redeem. We've got token, source chain. We'll pick Ethereum. Let's make this bigger. Great. I'll connect it. Great. Paste. Great. So it's connected. We'll hit recover. And yes, we'll pay it over here. Connect to my Terra station. Hit redeem. And now I don't need to do this, but just showing you the second that this transaction is done, we should have it. There we go. Done. We'll come back here and we'll hit next step. So now the final step is that it will be converting the wormhole ETH to bETH. Now what is this? This is that process where basically if you just had ETH, it is locking it in Anchor so that you can use it as collateral. That's what bETH is. That's what bLuna is. So in this case, we don't have that asset, so now it'll convert it into the B asset. So let's submit it. Great. So that is done. Now, let's take a look at the dashboard. and we'll go back to Vault. Now, what's different? So you've done the entire process, and if you come back here, remember I deposited 3 Luna, and then I started the process of ETH, where I didn't have any ETH in my wallet. I moved it from Ethereum. I followed all those steps, and now when I come back to my deposits, you can see I have the 0.05 cn ETH, which is in the vault now, and it is earning basically this 5.41% APR. And you won't see cn ETH go up every day, but when you go to redeem it, you'll see that you'll get back more as every day passes. You'll get back 5% more of what this 0.5 represents in ETH. So if I click on this, you can see right now, and I hit withdraw, see how now it's got the various. So I could go max and it'll withdraw anything in that, and it'll give me back this ETH. Now this is with fees and stuff, but the goal is you've got it in there now. It's compounding away, so you leave it in there if that's what you were wanting to do in the first place. Now this is a simplified way of moving ETH across. If you wanted to then take ETH and do something else, you could just come here and withdraw it. You'll have bETH in your wallet, and off you go doing things. But it's a great way to earn a decent amount in your yield. And while I'm recording this video, they are going to be increasing the LTV for bETH. It's passed, so expect that APR to be a little bit higher, given that more of your collateral can be put in Anchor to generate yield, and so naturally your APR will be higher. Overall, that's what I wanted to show in the tutorial. I really hope this has helped give you a bit of confidence in just walking through the steps. At any point, if it fails, don't worry. I think I've had everything happen in this video and talked you through how you get through it. And the last part I wanted to say is, in the Ethereum side, so you can now, what I just showed you, you can actually do it the reverse, where you can move your ETH from Terra back to Ethereum using the same wizard basically to move it back and following the prompts. I'm not covering that in this tutorial, but hopefully getting it from ETH to Terra, this has given you a bit of confidence. Like, share, subscribe. Thank you everyone for watching. Take care.